Happy October. I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. Okay. We come in with the Five of Swords. Okay. We have the Knight of Coins. Okay. Got the Ace of Swords. The Six of Wands. Okay. And we've got another Knight of Swords. Death card. And the Lover's card. Okay. What I want to say here is, I think that first, if you you may be up for a promotion at work, that came up too. So be on the lookout for that. I think you've really you're either being recognized by someone for something you've done, or someone is noticing your work ethic. So if you're up for a promotion, the odds are very good that you'll get it. My perception here, though, is that I can't tell which part of this upsets the apple cart at home. Okay. The Five of Swords, that is a card of betrayal, but it can also be the betrayal that when we don't follow our own path, that kind of betrayal as well. I think that what we have no cups in here at all, so I can't tell. And we've got two knights. One is slow and steady, right? The other one is like a blur. He goes so fast, right? So I just want to say that what you want to, these can be facets of yourself too, okay? I think what you're trying to really discover within yourself are the things that you really desire. Are you really doing those, or are you selling yourself short? Or do you talk yourself out of those? Or is your heart really not in it, right? Or is someone else's heart really not in it? This can be on the job front, or it can be in a relationship, and it can play out two separate ways too. But what I think here happens is, I think that on the home front, I think that things need to be balanced, right? Things need to be organized with a partner, okay? I'll say there's two equal partners here. One of you, I don't feel, is pulling your weight, right? I think one person may be really aggressively following a career pursuit, right? And another person is just not pulling their weight. So that may come up as an issue here too. With the Knight of Coins and the Ace of Swords, I think you start to see things a little more clear. I think that you progressively work very hard at something, and I think that that brings you the accolades that you're looking for on the work arena. But I think on the home front, things just might not be. With the Knight of Coins here, that's someone who's really slow and steady, but gets the job done. They realize that you can't whip through town and expect something to come really quick, right? The Knight of Swords is a great ally to have, someone in your corner, but as a partner, they can be a little bit of a wild card, right? And given that the Knight of Swords sits by the Death card, that may just be a part of yourself that you need to tame down a little bit, or it may be a partner in your relationship that you're not going in the same directions anymore. And I think that with the Lover's card as the outbound, it's about making choices, right? It's about choices, whether this relationship is better together or apart. Are we going in the same way? You know, are we looking for the same goals, or are we not? Okay. I think with the Lover's card, what I want to say on the outbound with that is, that's a card too of asking you if you're really I think that you may, this promotion, I'm sorry about that. I wasn't sure exactly where that was going. This promotion may require more of your time at work, right? Or your partner. If someone gets something shifts in the work arena here, which I feel throws off the balance at home, right? Um, you may need to, the resolve would be maybe just hire someone if that's the case, if both of you are working. My concern here is though, there of betrayal, because we have no cup cards here. So I don't think that I I I think if you're strongly working away at something, I don't feel your heart's in it. So I'm not quite sure what you're doing. And if it's a relationship arena and we have no cup cards in here, I'm not quite sure what you're doing there either. There's no real, I think you may be all over the board here. And that could be why these two cards are coming up as your advice, is that you've got to really slow down, direct your energy, and release some things, some patterns, some ways of doing things that um, aren't serving you well. I want to say too through here, don't get upset, okay? But I'm bringing it to your attention because if you're doing it, it's not serving you well. There's an air of vanillity through here, of venal behavior, right? Like someone's really vain in they've got to have the biggest and the best, and it's going to come crashing down here. So if that's what's going on here and you're going through the motions just to obtain more on the work front, your home life is going to disintegrate here. So I think it's really just a matter of getting clear on that, because these cards, really speak of financial security, yes, right? But you've got to make sure that the Six of Wands is really a card about it has to do with things on the home front too, right? Discussing things on the home front, being open in how you communicate, right? I think that there's just two separate paths here, right? I think someone's really driven and the other person is either having a hard time now juggling everything on the home front, and that might not pan out how you anticipate. Someone also may have to travel a lot for work. That could be, or now you get a promotion and you have to travel more for work, which keeps you further outside of the house. And I think that that's why the Lovers card comes up too, and why I'm throwing the be wary of betrayal either in the home front or on the job front. And that doesn't necessarily mean, someone's cheating on you. It could be jealousy. It could be envy. It could be someone really just not, you know, being, oh, I'm happy. I'm thrilled you got this promotion. I know that you really wanted it, right? But on the inside, you're thinking, oh my gosh, my partner is never home as it is. This is not at all what I wanted. You know what I mean? That's a sense of betrayal too, because you've got to be honest with the other person. That's the real key through this whole thing, is you've got to get rid of any vanity that's in here. You've got to pull on, mistakes that you've made on the past. Make wiser decisions for yourself, right? It's a two-way street here. These can be just facets of yourself that you've got to harness, right? But there's something that speaks through here too of, trying to balance work and home, and you've got to really look at what the true things that you value are, right? Because I think through here what's going to happen is you may learn some lessons here, or your partner may learn some lessons. I don't know what side of the coin you're on. I'm going to read these cards as if they're for you, right? So, it's really about discovering the things that make you happy, really doing the things that make you happy, right? But without any cups in here, you may not be doing that. I think that it's just a matter of, for you, for October, really looking at what things you've got to let go on, what your priorities are. Um, are you being superficial in the choices that you're making, right? Are you, there's a big mismatch here, and I can't tell. But when the death card shows up, with the Lovers card, it's saying, you know, things really need to be looked at here. And this is your advice, right? And I don't think you're wanting to hear what it is, but you've got to let go of there's a lot of sword cards in here. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's 3 sword cards. It's more swords than in any other suit. So that tells me, with the Ace of Swords, though, it tells me that it's clear communication, right? It may not be what you want to hear or what the other person wants to hear, but it shows me that the rose-colored glasses are off, and you really, you see what you need to see, right? And it just may not be so lovely. You've got the 5 of Swords coming in here, but you've got, the Death card and the Lovers card on the outbound. That may be, it may be a need to really look over, have a conversation between you and your partner. If this is a relationship, then you may want to do that, because I don't think it will, I think you're going to need to get on the same page here, because I don't feel that you are. Okay? If this is a career arena, ask yourself if your heart's really in this, or if you're just doing this to acquire material gain, because I don't see how this could really go anywhere, which is leading me to believe that this is some kind of superficial, I need my life to look like this, I need it, I need to have this tax bracket, and I think you may just need to change some ways about yourself and just look at some things, is all. I think it's really a month where you're going to need to be really honest with yourself, right? I think too, you may have been in a scenario where certain things were expected of you. So this may be all that you know, right? But what's happening is you can pursue anything in a career, but you're not leaving yourself open to a relationship to come in, right? Or if it's on the career front, you're going through the motions, but your heart's not in it. So, that's really what I want to mention here. The 6 of Wands, too, it can speak of a promotion for sure, but it really more so speaks about if you've got a partner and they've really helped you get where you are, or where you're going, or where you want to go, you may want to factor them into things, right? Because I think someone feels I think there's a definite mismatch here. You may want to really just, what I'm feeling really, really strongly here is that if you've got a relationship here, if you're married or you're in a relationship and you're away a lot for work, you may want to talk to your partner, because I don't think that I don't think there's longevity here. So I would advise to do that. If it's on a career front and you're single, you don't have any inkling to date whatsoever, you're going to be successful, but you're also kind of spiritually empty here, because your heart is not in this. Okay, so there's an awful lot of swords, though. So I think you're really just, you come into the read, though, with the Ace of Swords. So I think you see what the problem is. You see where improvement needs to be made. Your advice is to look at that, and I think it's great in business. But with the death card and this is really just telling you to slow down here. If you're someone who travels a lot for work, right? Keep an eye on that. Watch out that you're not rushing so fast that you're, you're getting in accidents or you're missing your flights. Or I think there's an air of being organized through here. There's an air of communication, but there's different kinds of communication. I think people are wanting different things. I think the relationships that you're in, I think this one might need some attention. If you really, if you cherish that. I can't tell because there's no cup cards in here. Honestly, there's just a lot of focus on material. There's not much in here in the realm of desire, you know. There's one wand card in here, the Six of Wands, and that's it. That's a short-lived victory. So the Lover's card, I think, on the outbound is really just asking you, is your heart really in this, right? Because if these are two different people, that's very, very different energy, like very different energy. I don't even know how that would pan out. I think that this is parts of yourself mainly that you need to look at. Really take a look at the things that are important to you here, okay? If this is a relationship, is it a superficial one, or do you really care about this person, right? Because this person is great in a business arena, but not great as a partner. They're a wild card. So they're not going to help you get where you're going career-wise. But you know, it's either a relationship that it's just existing and you're not really caring much about it. That could be why, or it's just superficial. It's just someone, but with the Death card, it's someone that you need to, a part of yourself or someone that you want to address, and let some stuff go. There's a good balance between these two if you were to find that for yourself. The King of Cups is really slow, really diligent. Things have to be exactly how they are. He very rarely even gets out of the gate, right? And this one, you basically feel the breeze as he's going by. So if you were to find a middle ground in there, I think that would open up your heart chakra just a little bit in here. This card doesn't necessarily need to be about a relationship, but whatever it is that you're making choices about for yourself, you need to really ask yourself if your heart's in it, because I don't see it through here. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I think this is going to be a month of contemplation for you, and some discussion if you're in a relationship with someone. Check in, see how, lay it all out on the table. That's what I see. As far as career, you'll go ahead. You'll get a promotion. Life will be wonderful if that's all that you're looking to do. If you're factoring in a relationship in here, you may want to think about that. Because again, and I say this, I know this is a little bit longer, but that's not what makes someone happy in the long run. It's not. There's a happy medium between what you're trying to do here. So you'll end up being king of the castle, but you'll pull in that driveway and no one will be there. So ask yourself, really, where, what is it that I truly want here? Okay, so there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. Have a lovely month. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me.